Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. I was recently tasked with creating a simple device that can test the recent installation of a LoRaWAN gateway to make sure that it works properly and that people can use it. And these are the two devices that I came up with. I have two because I wasn't sure on which network server the gateway was on, so I made one for the Things Network and one for ResIoT, as I later discovered that the gateways are connected to ResIoT. And in this video I'm gonna go over what the devices are, how I did the testing, and how you can do the same if you ever need to. And before we go into the details, I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, PCBWay. If you're into electronics, prototyping, or any kind of PCB design, PCBWay is honestly one of the best places to get your boards made. They go over and beyond the standard PCBs, and they can also manufacture multi-layer boards, flexible and rigid flex PCBs, and even provide services for CNC machining, 3D printing, and sheet metal fabrication. If you got a product idea, you can actually get almost everything made in one place. Their turnaround time is super fast, and the quality control is rock solid. Plus, their website makes it really easy to upload your Gerber files and get an instant quote. No back and forth emails or hidden fees. If you feel creative and you are into 3D characters, PCBWay is currently running a contest for a unique take on their official mascot, where you can actually win some cash prizes and get promoted for your work. To find out more, you can check out PCBWay.com from the link in the video description and even get a small welcome bonus. Huge thanks to PCBWay for supporting the channel. Now, to verify that the LoRaWAN network is operational and that you can actually use it, we need to build a device that can connect to the LoRaWAN network and provide some data for it. And for that, I've used these two devices that were kindly provided from Meshnology. These are their newest kits for DIY LoRa devices, and they are particularly used for building Meshtastic nodes. This one is the N32 and this one is the N35 kits. They're both coming with 3000 milliampere hour batteries, but in my use case I didn't need the batteries, so I omit them from the case. And the two devices have the Heltec ESP32 boards inside that come with the kit. Let me show you that. Inside both of the devices we have the standard Heltec LoRa 32 version 3 boards that come as part of the kits, and the kit is also using this nice 3D printed enclosures so you can make a handheld device. And to make the demo possible and to be able to verify that I have actually a connection to the LoRaWAN server, I flashed exactly the same sketch on both boards, but I only changed the parameters for the application and device identification, one for the Things Network and another one for ResIoT. So let's jump into code to show you that. The example code that I use in my proof of concept is heavily relying on the example provided by Heltec for how to use LoRaWAN on their boards. And the main thing that you'll need to update in case you want to try this for yourself is the LoRaWAN parameters that you can find within your network server of choice, and this will depend based on how the gateways are set. I can show you that in the UI. So within the Things Network application stack, I created an application that is specifically for this purpose, and within this application I created a single end device that I called Test Traveler. This device I've based on the version 2 of the Heltec board, but this should be all fairly similar and exact with how version 3 works. It's just to set up the right frequencies and the protocol specification. And what this will give you is the device EUE and the app key numbers that you will need to then plug into the example that you're running. And since I wasn't sure what network server is actually used on the target gateway that we were supposed to test, I connected this to the Things Networks because I have my own gateway running on the Things network. So I could now connect the device. And for power, I'm gonna use my DIY power bank that I created with the help of PCBWay, that you can check out the video up here if you're interested in. And I'm gonna power the device now. So what this will do is we'll try to connect to LoRaWAN and we'll see the join message if it's gonna work, which we do. So you can see that it's being joined on the network, and we can verify that in the UI. We can see that the last activity was 11 seconds ago, and it's the device that we have that connected. Periodically, this will send new data, and you could see that the timestamps updates, meaning that we do have LoRaWAN communication from the device to the gateway and receiving here on the network server. So we can verify that the communication works and that the gateway is operational. Now, after I built my initial device to test the Things Network connection, I was told that the gateway is actually connected to ResIoT Cloud, and I basically did the same on ResIoT, where I created a free account that allows you to have up to 15 devices, created a test application and a single node there that I call the test device that will tell me if I have connection or not. So if I plug this in, keep in mind that this time we don't have actually a gateway, because that gateway that we are testing is in a different area that what I'm currently in. You're gonna see that now it says ResIoT joining, and because we don't have a gateway that's operational on ResIoT, this will stay at the joining phase and will not actually connect. So we'll not see the joined message as we see on the other device, and we'll not actually see it sending. And if we take a look at the web interface, you could see that the status is unconnected, so the node has timed out, and it shows the last known data to be on October 26th. This is 2 days ago at the time of recording, when I was in the actual area testing the existence, and this joined as the other. So I was able to verify that the installed gateway is actually operational and can be used with the connected device. The LoRaWAN ecosystem has several parts that needs to be operational in order for a device to be connected to it, and we can see that on this image here. Our devices are what LoRaWAN ecosystem calls end nodes, and they can be anything that we need to monitor, and this connect through a gateway. They can connect to either one or multiple gateways at the same time, depending on the distance. And this is what is actually connected to the internet, because the end nodes are usually without any subscription, and they can only connect through to the internet to the gateway. That gateway is connected to the internet through either 3G, 4G, or some Ethernet, depending on the placement, and they report back to a network server. The demo that you saw, this is usually the TTN server or ResIoT or any other network service that's available that is in charge of storing the data for each of the nodes. And from there, if we build an application, either a mobile or web application or some sort of an acting application that can send notification or do some actions based on the data, that connects to the network server directly. So in order for the end device to be operational, we at least need these three parts. So the end node itself, the gateway, and the network server. And then once we have the data within the network server, we can build our application on top of it. What makes LoRaWAN super interesting and useful is the wireless communication that happens between the end nodes and the gateways, because depending on the placement, this can measure in tens of kilometers, even more, if we have good conditions. And this is relatively low power communication and also low data communication that allows us to have nodes that are placed in difficult to reach places, and they can last for several years on battery power alone, because something like a smoke alarm, for example, will only periodically send keep alive data just so we know that it's still active, and will actually send any data once it detects any smoke. This could be once a month maybe, and water meter can be configured to, for example, send the data once every day, depending on the condition. So all of the end nodes are actually devices that are sending low amounts of data not that frequently. And that is what makes them possible to operate on batteries for a very long time. Now, this is a super simple demo that I did to actually verify the existence of the LoRaWAN network and being able to join it and send data through it. But it served the purpose because that's the only thing that I was supposed to verify. And thanks to the super simple devices, I was able to make that portable and easily verify that the gateways actually work. If you're interested in seeing more examples with LoRaWAN, then be sure to let me know down in the video comments and I'll try to provide as many examples as I can. I'm gonna have some more examples with LoRaWAN coming in the near future, so be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see that. And also if you want to see any of my future projects and videos, I'm gonna ask you to join my Patreon if you want to support what I do. And YouTube will have a recommended video up here that you can watch next if you want to see something more. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one. Cheers!